we are going to make we're gonna make a granny square bucket hat. All right, so I've already have done my granny squares, and if you would like me to make granny squares like during a live, let me know in the comments. Even when this is posted, please comment there, and I would definitely do a crochet granny square. Okay, and so this is not my official crochet channel. It's Today Crochet. That is my crochet channel, but I will be crocheting live only on this page. What's the tea? Because this is my main page, but I am building another one that is specifically for crocheting. Okay. All right. So I have my yarn because we're going to actually join these together, and this is actually my first time doing a crochet bucket hat. Okay, I'm sorry, a granny square bucket hat. As you can see, I do other hats, but this is a little more intricate. All right, so we're going to, this is actually, let's see, I might put that on the top. We're going to actually take the granny square and we're going to join it. Okay, and I have granny square yarn, but I don't want to use that yarn to sew because that yarn is expensive. Okay, and make sure you guys thumbs up this video. Thumbs up the video. If I get 20 thumbs up, that tells me that you guys like crocheting on this channel. All right, so now if you get, this is my scrap yarn. I made another hat, and of course this is yarn that's left over. You're going to run into yarn that is tangled. You don't want to pull. You want to just kind of like do this to shake it. Keep it loose so you don't make any knots, because once you make knots, that's going to be a problem. Okay. All right, so we're just going to cut a section off just for the sake of time. All right. And we're going to take our sewing needle. Okay. And the way that you put the thread through, you're just gonna, this is what I do. I just bend it and I just pull it through. Bam. That's it. Okay. And if you're a sewer, you know, I know how I like to sew holes and things. I'm not like a serious up person who sews, but I'm gonna go step by step because I can't assume anything. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make a knot here. Okay. Now, when you're first beginning doing granny squares and things like that, it's going to be, sometimes it may be a little bit uneven depending on your skill level, and that's fine. You know, everyone has a beginning. Okay. So I'm going to make sure that the granny square is, they're pretty even. And then we're just going to go ahead and we're going to sew. Okay. Going to sew. So is there anyone here who crochets? If so, of course, let me know in the comments if you crochet. If you want to learn how to crochet, let me know. Okay. All right. So I want to make sure you guys can see. Crocheting to me is therapeutic. It's a good stress reliever. A very good stress reliever. Of course, when I'm streaming and things like that, it can be a little stressful on me because, you know, I stream on other platforms. TT, I stream over there. I also stream on FB as well. And hi. And it's a little stressful. But here on the tube, I'm trying to just teach you guys and still maintain my stress levels being not too high. So I'm going to speak in my little therapeutic voice and all of that. So please bear with that. Okay. So the reason why I'm using purple is it's because purple is in here. It's in the, it's kind of like a purplish or whatever. And yeah. My mother knows how to crochet. I tried once and couldn't do it. Well, if you're serious about it, try again. Make sure you subscribe to this channel because I will be going live crocheting my different projects. I do offer my, you know, like my hats and stuff, but I just love hats myself. I wear them, and so I don't want to put too much like pressure on myself to sell, and you know, but I do offer products. I also offer patterns that you guys can follow, easy patterns for beginners. And yeah, so we're just gonna go ahead and just keep sewing, and I'm going like slow because this is a real hat, and I want to, yes, I make all my hats, so every hat that you will see me wearing, I made it. Yes, ma'am. To God be the glory, guys. The Lord gave me this gift, and I promised him, I said I will always let people know God gave me the gift, just like he gives all of us gifts, okay? Don't get it twisted. He gives us all gifts. Okay? All right. Hold on, you guys. I have to do something right quick. So I'm taking my time. I'm doing it right. The race is not to the swift, but the one who endures. I have to make sure I keep this in view. So I do apologize for that, you guys. Hold on, you guys. Hold on. My husband's not here to help me, so I have to do it myself. Hold on. He's doing something. All right, here we go. And all right, there we go. All right, all set. Thank you. You guys share this video, share it out. Say hello. Let me know where you guys are from, whether you're in the replay. If you're in the replay, put hashtag replay. Okay? Hashtag replay if you are in the replay. I know everyone now here is live, but I like to give my replayers some love too. So what I am doing is I'm going through each stitch on both sides. And, you know, I got introduced to, I tell this story all the time, but I don't know if you guys have seen me before or whatever. please go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. And the way that you do that is now the people in the replay, this is not concerning you because you see the button right there. But if you are here in this live, of course, you're going to hit the 3 dots and that'll allow you to like the video. Because I know it's not in your guys' face, so it's like, I know that's why the likes are not as high as I would like them to be. But please help me get to at least 20 likes. And the way you do that is by hitting the 3 dots. And that's how you can do that. But yeah, I started to crochet. I was at a hair salon. Of course, you know, I'm a hairstylist, guys. This is for anyone who's been watching me for over 5 years. I used to do hair. And the place where I was working, it was during like the winter time or whatever, and they were crocheting, and they thought it was like, they were acting like it was like their little thing, like they didn't really introduce me or didn't want me to crochet, but I thought that it was fun. Hi, I crochet too. Awesome, welcome in. And I just went to Walmart that day. I got me a crochet hook. I think it was a number 5. And I got me some yarn. And I went on the tube and watched a video. And there you have it. I just was crocheting. I crocheted hats. All my hats were like messed up and all that. But I got the concept of it. And so anyway, fast forward. I want to work on my memory and things like that. And so I asked God to help me to maintain my memory so I don't get little issues like dementia, Alzheimer's, all those things that comes with stress, not necessarily age, stress. And God told me to go ahead and start to crochet. And so, of course, I went and I got me a whole package, guys, a package deal. I didn't really have the money either, and I went and please don't use Klarna unless it's an emergency, but I said I'll put it on Klarna. You know, sometimes I'll put my little, are you okay?
Do we have to change the billing date? Does it work if I don't?
Why?
Because I think I can. Yes, I'm here.
I'm sorry. Don't use Klarna unless you really have to. But I use it for business sometimes if I need something real quick. And I went on and I spent some money on Klarna. And, of course, I paid it off. And I got me a whole bunch of yarn from... What's the deal?
I see the option to unbundle. So I can unbundle. But the date as it is now would be the 9th.
Okay.
That's fine?
Yeah.
Okay. She's checking to see if I can do it on a different date.
Okay.
All right. But if I can't, then we're just going to go with that, right?
Yes.
Okay. And it's 45.
Okay.
Okay. And then let me do it online.
Oh, okay.
When I hit that option...
You know I'm on YouTube, right?
I do.
Oh, okay. All right. So yeah, that's what's going on, and I've been crocheting ever since. Okay, so boom, we did that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another one. I'm going to do all of them. I'm going to actually try to at least attempt to make this hat while I'm streaming. So it's going to be tutorial-esque, but not fully tutorial. So you do 2 at a time, obviously, guys, because it's easier. It's easier. Okay, so we're going to take another 2, and you want to take 2 that are the same. Mine are not all the same for some reason. Don't know why, but guess what? I'm not about perfection. This is going to be my hat. And so there you go. This is handmade. Handmade stuff is so awesome. If you get stuff that's handmade, it's like You know, it's made with love and dedication. It's not, you know, the machine is different. It just has a different feel. So yeah, ever since I started crocheting, and anybody who wants to pick up any skill, not just crocheting, but of course we're talking about crocheting, but this, what I'm about to tell you, um, is good when you want to pick up another skill. Okay, you want to attach it to something positive. Okay, now some may say what I attached it to is not necessarily positive, because I'm like, I just don't want to get dementia, because, and the reason why is because I took care of a family member who, a dear old family member, and they had dementia, and they're, you know, I just didn't like how that, how it treated them and all. So I said, you know what, I don't want that. But whatever you don't want, you have to work towards, just like anything you do want, you have to work towards. You know what I mean? So it's very positive to basically want to give yourself the best um, chance possible to not get something that takes the quality of your life. Because I was taught it's not about the quantity of years, it's about the quality of years. So this has really, really, really helped me stay focused. Just like today, you see my husband, he's dealing with some business, you know. And if I didn't have this to do, like crocheting, making a video for you guys, I would be all hemmed up in the stress of what's going on today. And so stress itself is bad for the memory. I had just come across something yesterday, and it was like a promotion, of course, for an app, Calm, I think, like a meditation. And it said, my wife crochet. Thank you. Thank you for the compliment. And so it said basically that if you're a person who forgets a lot, like if you're like, oh, you were talking, like I go through this a lot. Like I'll be talking or doing a video and I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I say? This is that short-term memory. Your part of your brain that controls short-term memory is having a little bit of problems, and it's usually due to stress. So if you're listening to this now and you're not remembering, or you're like, where are my keys? Did I lock the door? You know, little stuff like that. Um, that's a sign that you are stressing out. Not necessarily that you're aging, but our brains can age quicker than our years due to just stress. And so you have to do things in life every day that are stress relievers. Anything that you genuinely love, I think, is a stress reliever. Me making videos, that's my job, but it's not a stress reliever. Even doing this video is not a stress reliever. And so me crocheting takes a little bit of the what they call it, the edge off, if you will. So I would suggest to pick up crocheting to help you stress relieve. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we can continue talking. I'm going to actually have my assistant help me with this topic. Okay. I'm going to drink some water. And just like being able to create something and knowing that at the end of whatever you're doing, you know, it's going to be something that is going to be beautiful, something that you made. So you get like some anxiety relief, but you also get some sense of accomplishment. It helps you to know that you have to be consistent. You know what I mean? You have to be consistent in whatever you're doing to see the results that you want to see as well. And so this is incorporates sewing. You know, luckily my grandmother told me, oh, I should always know how to sew, just in case something happens, like in public, she said you should have a sewing kit with you just in case you get a hole in your shirt or something like that. You can just whip out your little needle and sew it shut. So I was fortunate enough to be taught the skill of sewing, which goes right along with this activity. Okay, so we did two. Now I'm going slow just to pace myself, but y'all can go faster. You can go much faster than what I'm going. Okay. And when I am sewing and crocheting, I go live with you guys. Make sure that you are crocheting with me. Okay? Get your hook and your yarn and crochet with me, because it's always fun when you have someone to crochet with. Even though this is virtual, I watch people who crochet, and I am usually crocheting right along. So we have 4 done. Let me see. 4. And I have 4 more to do. Okay. Now one has to be the top of the hat. One has to be the top of the hat. So you may be, oh, I have my top right here. That's the top of my hat. Yeah. All right. So we got 2 more to sew. Okay, so we're going to go over here. I'm going to get some more. All right, so I pulled up some info about how crocheting is a stress reliever. I work 12-hour days, and I've been crocheting every day. That's the way I close my day. I also crochet all day. But when I'm crocheting online, of course, that's not a stress reliever because I'm making a video. Like TikTok, oh my gosh, I'm on there all day and it's quite stressful. I have music playing and the music makes me a little hyper, and then other people coming in and talking to me, and I feel like I have to be, more of a entertainer at that time. So I don't get the benefits while I'm working. So I always end my day, in Jesus' name, with a little crochet session, as I would call it. And I don't feel right without my crochet session. And it just basically helps me to relieve my whole day, and it gives me purpose. Because that's why a lot of people, you guys, and I wouldn't suggest you guys make this long, because it's look at this. Look. It's just a big deal. Yeah, look, I don't know how this is gonna work. I made this way too long. Okay, don't make it more than 2 arms length. But yeah, a lot of people cannot sleep because you have so much trapped energy in your system that you probably didn't get out because you didn't exercise, or you didn't do any activity that is a stress reliever. I like to walk, and I like to crochet at the end of my day to just help me to relax. And so if you've been up and running all day, to expect your body to be like, okay, it's time to sleep. I remember Cat Williams said that on his interview with Shannon Sharp, because I'm not going to call a grown man Shay Shay. Just not going to do that. Shannon Sharp, and he said, he had to do some things, you know, to help him sleep. He said, you know, because in the comedy world, you know, their work day is at night. And so they can't sleep during the day. You have to, you know, tell your body, because our body is naturally kind of like attached or understands that when the sun is out, you're up. When the sun's not up, you're settling down. And so he had to do, you know, basically train his body to be off of that circadian rhythm, if you will, which isn't easy. Guys, I told you this was going to be a little too long. I told you that. And I kind of knew it. I kind of knew it. I really did. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to cut this. So yeah, this is, you know, something that you can do to kind of like settle your day. Instead of, guys, make sure you thumbs up the video. Instead of trying to do like other things that are not best for the body, crochet. Crocheting can be a very effective way to manage stress due to its repetitive, rhythmic nature. You know, you ever seen like like when someone's getting hypnotized and they have the little swinging thing right there and you're supposed to follow it, and then all of a sudden you like fall into a trance. Yeah, because it's the same movement over and over and over again. That's why when you drive, like if you're driving a long way, you know, you're supposed to have the air, you know, on, and don't, you know, keep your eyes on one place, because that will certainly help you to what? Fall asleep behind the wheel. You don't look, we don't want that. So I was taught to keep your eyes kind of moving when you're driving, even though it's on the highway or in the beltway or whatever. You want to keep your eyes moving, not just looking at the street, because it basically kind of like puts you in a trance and makes you drowsy. So that's what it is with crocheting. The rhythmic, the constant motion, the same moves, is going to naturally relax you. Okay? All right, so reduces anxiety. The act of crocheting can help calm the mind and reduce negative thoughts, making it beneficial for those with anxiety. Right, so if you're just basically thinking about it, it keeps you in the now. Okay, it's not, you're not really thinking about the past, you're not really thinking about the future, you're just basically thinking about, and this is just how I've noticed with myself, you're just thinking about what's going on now. You're thinking about, let's get these granny squares sewn so I can do the next part of sewing the bucket hat. You know what I mean? I ain't got time to worry about nothing else. And eventually your body will get in tune with that. You know what I mean? Even my body doesn't want to believe me. You notice I had a little scratch when I said, I ain't got nothing to worry about. My subconscious is like, girl, you know you be worrying. So it itches you. That's one way they say you know someone is lying, is if they scratch, itch. So I had to look. I had to put that out there. Yeah. But that's life. Every day you're going to have something, you know. Stuff happens, as the saying say, and it's okay. So crocheting helps you stay focused, in my opinion, focused on the now, focused on good things, and it doesn't give you, like if you're thinking about good things, you don't have time or space to think about negative things. Negative thoughts, they grow. Our thoughts are things. Whatever you think comes to pass. It is what it is. So there you go. Increase focus. Okay, see, it says it right here. Crocheting requires concentration, okay, which can help distract from stressors and promote a relaxed state of mind. Okay, so like I said, you're focused on the task at hand. It helps your brain, that part of your brain that basically helps you stay focused. So if you're a person who has ADHD, you can't, like, you know, stick to one thing. this may be a good exercise, because that's what it is. Crocheting is like an exercise. It's really like a sport. You know what I mean? It is a sport. I look at it as a sport. Stay hydrated, you know. You can have like little snacks. What's in my water? My water has today, I have peppermint tea. Peppermint tea is another good stress reducer. I have a lot of stress in me. I don't know why. I think it's because I have, or I deal with thyroid issues and things like that. I think. I don't like speaking certain things, but I'm really saying that for anyone who may be watching, that if you have a lot of like digestive problems and things like that, a core way to deal with that is identify what is stressing you out. You know, like our body is very smart. So even if you try to, you know, convince yourself this is not affecting me, your body knows better. You know, you can't really trick your body. It's smart. It's smarter than you, right? Like if you tell yourself, I am the best. I love myself. I love others. People are gravitating to me. I help others. I am important. Those words right there, I can feel like growing like some positive threads within me. And your body will like take to that. And guess what? Your body will also take to you speaking negative. And we have to stop speaking negative over ourselves, others, our children, you know, because those things will come to pass. You know what I mean? God gave us those powers. I hate to say powers, but yeah, I guess, yeah, and gifts to have words have powerful meaning. You know, say the power of life and not life, of course, is in the power of what we say, whether it's physically in what we say or spiritually in what we say. So you say, well, crocheting is going to be, you know, my mode of releasing stress. I am a good crocheter. I will crochet clothes for my family, whether it be hats or scarves. You know, Proverbs 31 woman makes things with her hands. And that's why God has sent me down this path of wearing hats now. So I'm going to be having a hat on every time I go live. Why? I'm covering my crown. You know, it's my crown and glory. It's my hair. So you cover that. Cover your head. Also, it's like protection. I don't want negative things to come within my psyche, you know, into my spiritual mind and my physical mind. So the hat represents it covering my head with God's help to uh, not have certain things be able to penetrate my mental cortex. You know, like Magneto. You know, Magneto had a whole hat on, didn't he? Because he didn't want anybody reading his mind. And so I really do think like X-Men was like spiritual. It's very spiritual. Okay. We did another one. Okay. So the thread, in my opinion, you can show the thread or you can have the thread on the inside. I've actually seen people do their bucket hats with the thread showing or the seam showing. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to have the seam on the inside. I want it to be kind of be seamless. I don't want y'all to understand like what I did to get that, if you will. Okay. Pretty soon I will have a pattern for this as well. I do have patterns for ruffle hat, bucket hats. Pretty much everything that I'll make, you'll be able to purchase in a pattern. Okay. Or if you want me to just make you a hat, you can do that too. That's cool. All right. Mindfulness is another thing that crocheting helps with. Mindfulness. Your mind has to be in the game. Like if you're a person who just likes to go through the motions, I don't think this is the activity for that. You have to know what you're doing. You have to know, okay, what hook you're using. You have to know, okay, I'm doing a double double crochet or a single crochet, or a treble crochet. Yeah, it's so many patterns that you can, or so many different crochet patterns, y'all. It's not just one or two, it's a lot. And we'll go through all those one day. We'll talk about that as well. But see how I am talking to you guys and I'm doing this too. This is something I haven't really had to do since I was in school. And see, that's what happens, guys. You know, after we stop learning, that's why you're supposed to learn for the rest of your life, because once we stop learning, you know, the brain tends to think, oh, you don't need me anymore. Oh, you don't need me anymore? Oh, okay. So it kind of like shuts off its faculties, if you will, because you don't need me anymore. And no, we need our brain for a long time. Don't buy into the hype of, oh, well, Alzheimer's and dementia and all that, that's for when you get old. No, because you have to understand, Alzheimer's and dementia starts to settle in your 40s. Some people 30s. There's some people who are young who have been diagnosed with dementia, or what they call onset dementia, meaning it's coming. You know what I mean? And so don't buy into the hype that, oh yeah, certain diseases are just for old folks or it's just for this class of people. No. And I was fortunate enough to be around someone with dementia, and they had dementia for a long time. It just progressed. You know, it's one of those things. It's a progressive disease. It is a deteriorating disease. Once it's settled into your brain, that's pretty much it. You can hold off or starve off the progression of it, but it just gets worse. And so prevention is how you really deal with this issue, is prevention. And so one thing about crocheting is it helps you to learn. So once you know how to do something and you know how to do a hat, then you have to start learning how to do a different type of hat. Because even with crocheting, you can get stuck in a rhythm. That's what it says, the rhythm of it. You don't want to get stuck in the rhythm, because guess what? Your brain is going to get settled. Like, okay, we already know how to do double crochet hat. We already know how to do this ruffle hat. And you just go on and you're just doing it like by memory, or by rote rather. And then you're not going to get the full benefit. So always, even if you're a person who says, oh, I've been crocheting all my life, I'm good. No, still learn how to crochet. Learn some other things. Learn how to crochet stuffed animals. Learn how to crochet or make pillows. Or it's so many things out here that these real crochet artists are doing, you know. Not real crochet artists, but you know, it's not a boring skill, guys. It's not like once you learn something, okay, you're good. No, keep learning, because you want the full benefits. The craft, and I don't like saying craft, but the skill encourages a present focused mindfulness, which can be therapeutic and reduce symptoms of depression. That's what they say. You know, a lot of us are, and if you break down depressed or whatever, right? If you break that word down, D is of pressed confinement. You are basically confined to a space in time that was not positive for you. Okay? And, you know, I like to simplify things. I feel like if you try to simplify things down to a fine form, if you will, it's easier to be digested. Just like chewing your food is very important. That's why you shouldn't just eat when you're, you know, ravenous and haven't eaten all day. Why? Because you are going to swallow chunks of food, and then your body is not going to be able to break that down. We don't have blades and things in our gut. It's a smooth move situation. It's a smooth situation down there. All we have are our acids and maybe a little bit of peristalsis to help things move through. But for the most part, that's it. We have to help our digestion, right? So that's why it's really, really good to try to break things down in the simplest form, because your body will be able to digest it. Same thing with mindfulness and things that we eat mentally. So if you just break it down, the word, like I said, you are basically compressed in a space that's not positive. Like if you lost somebody and you constantly are thinking about the loss of that loved one, it's going to keep you in a space where you're not feeling great. I mean, it's a time to be sad, it's a time to be happy. You can't just be stuck in one mindset. It's going to cause you to just not be healthy mentally or physically. And so doesn't that make it a little bit more simpler to understand how the mind works? Everyone doesn't go through that, okay? It's also a nutritional issue. It's a nutritional issue. If you feel that way, that means you're not getting your nutrition. You're not getting your proper nutrients to every day so your brain can work effectively. But if you are always sad or you're always stressed out, you're not going to be able to think about that. So you're going to forget how that is, okay? You're going to forget how things work, okay? So like with me, I wouldn't be able to do these videos if it wasn't for crocheting. Oh my gosh. I wouldn't. I mean, now, I have been streaming and making videos for years, but it was a lot of stress on me. I couldn't do cross platforms and all that. This crocheting helps me focus on me crocheting versus focusing on who's in here and how do I look. And, you have to understand, it's stressful streaming and making videos. It's not easy. Just like it's stressful doing what you're doing, whatever your profession is. So we can't just live in a bubble of stress forever. It'll make the quality of our life much harder. Okay? So another thing they say with crocheting, guys, is it boosts self-esteem. Completing a crochet project provides a sense of accomplishment, which can improve mood and self-esteem. And so that's something that we have not really enjoyed since a child, right? We didn't have that gratification or that good job since we were children. Hello everyone, I agree. I'm just learning new stitches and I've been crocheting since I was 10 and I'm now retired and learning every day. Yes, Miss Donna, thank you for that input. You are correct. I'm glad someone is listening to what I'm saying. Okay? So yeah, it gives you a sense of accomplishment. Like when I made this hat, this one I've made several. So guys, stay tuned just to see what type of hat that I'll be wearing because I have several hats. Every time I'm done, no matter how long it has taken me, I feel like, oh my gosh, I made another hat. You know what I mean? It does boost. And I'm in my 40s, So this is not just for older folks. It's not just for young people. It's for anyone who, basically is vibing with what I'm saying and saying, look, I want to basically, change my mindset and change the fact that I have so much stress and things like that. And these are my projects. So I don't care really how anybody else feels about them. It's what I did. I took my time out and made it. And so it's a good feeling, y'all. It's a good feeling. And I would suggest that you guys start crocheting. Okay? Start crocheting. And basically join groups of crocheters. Good groups, y'all. Not bad, or don't join things that's going to help you feel discouraged. You want to join things that's going to encourage you. And so if you like this type of vibe where the lady goes live and she talks about wellness and all that and give you a tutorial, and that's how my mind is. I like to give people a variety because I do get bored. And one thing about crocheting is it's not bored. It's not boring. Boring is not good, by the way. It's of the devil. Okay? God wants us to always live in abundance, and he wants us to always, and one way you live in abundance is doing your gift. And so if you are bored, that means you're probably not exercising your talent and gift, which is a sin. Okay? It is a sin not to do your gift. And I'm not mad, but well, God has his timing. So I'm not going to say what I was going to say. Whenever you start, that's the time in which you're supposed to start. Okay. Okay. Miss Nifty says, I am listening to you. I have seen a couple of your broadcasts. Just subscribe today. Really enjoy what you said about what depression means. Yes. Miss Nifty, thank you for giving me that, because that makes me feel like I got to that one person. That means what I said was not in vain. So that gets me right here, and I'm glad that God used me to say that to you. Okay? So thank you for letting me know. And thank you, God, for giving me that confirmation that what I said was correct. Thank you, Lord. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this off real quick. Okay, take this off. Okay, we're trying to make a bucket hat, right? Oh, God. Okay, we're making a bucket hat, you guys. And I have to remember, I have a big head, okay? It told me to make 6, but I made 8 because I just know that it's going to be different for me. All right, so we are going to sew. I'm going to go back to the topic, but I'm trying to look at something. Okay, so let's do this. Mind you guys, this is my first attempt. This is my first attempt, guys. And this is not the final hat. I have to still do the brim. Okay? So I don't want it too big, and of course I don't want it too small. Okay? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to sew this together. So this will be 4. Because what I'm going to do is it's supposed to open up like this. Okay? So let me put my hat back on. This hat makes me feel like I'm like out on a, like a bayou somewhere. This is my bayou hat. Yes, This makes me feel like I'm outside somewhere. I don't know. Yeah. And that's another thing, guys. When you are crocheting and making things, it helps your imagination. And my imagination has not been active for decades because I've been just so stuck on paying bills and taking care of family and this and that. And imagination is very, very important. It helps you to tune out. It helps you to, like, even if you're in a situation that is not the best, you can like imagine that you are in a different situation. And then 9 times out of 10, that situation that you've imagined, which is much better, you're going to do what you need to do to get that situation. Okay? I hope that helps you out because that's where I'm at. Like, I'm not at the bayou, but in my mind, I am in the bayou, sipping on some lemonade, letting the wind go through my hair. That's what this hat reminds me of. And so if I'm stressed out, guess what I'm not going to be able to do? I'm not going to be able to imagine nothing. Everything is going to be so goddamn stressful on moi. And that's just not a good thing of life, Those colors are very flattering on you. I have a big head too. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. There's nothing wrong with that though. It's more to think. Gives us more room to think. Okay? So we said it boosts self-esteem. Social connection. Okay? This is what you're experiencing now. Social connection. Where you can actually get with other crocheters that can give you ideas, who can tell you, hey, your project is awesome. Oh, you've helped me. All of those things help you to get that confirmation. God is not going to have you do something and not have confirmation of it. Okay? He's just not going to do that. He is going to let you know, keep going. You know, he is our number one supporter. He's our number one person who is going to pat us on our back and say keep going, right? But he's going to give us that human connection, and he is going to have you in spaces and places where you are helping others. Because what's the sense of having a skill or a gift and you're not sharing it with anyone? Does that even make any sense? Like, if you're a person who, you know, knows how to motivate others. You know, of course, motivators have large platforms because everyone needs motivation. But unfortunately, motivators, please, like if you are a person who likes, like myself, I'm a motivator. I didn't even realize this until God put the words, but pray for the motivators. Pray for those who always help other people. Pray for the teachers. Okay? Pray for those people. Why? Because they are always emptying out their cup, right? But very rarely are they emptying out their cup to groups of people who are going to replace. Because a lot of people that motivators speak to are in a place where they feel like they're empty, right? Empty cup. Do you feel like you're empty? If you feel like you're empty, then you are not doing your gift, because your gift and your talent will always work for your benefit. You will always get back. You will not necessarily get back from the people that you're motivating or helping, but God will make it where you will get it some way, somehow. You know what I mean? So if you are feeling that way, you're not doing your gift and you're not into the word, you're not reading your word. It's a manual, guys. The Bible is our manual of life. And I don't know how I got through, like, I'm 40-something years old, and I just started to read the Bible in my 40s. You know what I mean? But, you know, I'm just trying to help you guys out. When I looked up, hold on, you guys. When I looked up Proverbs 31 woman, one of the attributes of a Proverbs 31 woman is she makes things with her hands. She is fearful of God only. So that gave me confidence right there. Like, you're not supposed to be afraid of no one but God. So I'm not supposed to be afraid of anybody watching my videos, afraid of this, afraid of what I say. No, because I know who my creator is and I know where my strength comes from. And that's God. So you got to read the word, y'all. The word will get you through some tough times. It'll get you through some good times. It is what it is. It'll just get you through your life in general. And so there you have it. I don't know who that's for, but I hope that part hits the ears that it needs to hit. Okay? Now, what you see me doing is I'm taking a stitch out. I am taking a stitch out. And I'm glad I realized the mistake before I got all the way down the line. Because that's just not cool. Guys, make sure you thumbs up the video. Thank you for the thumbs up. I'm trying to get 20. I'm being very modest. I'm trying to get 20, you guys. You guys are going to help me get 20? Help me get 20 likes. And if you're in the live, you just hit the 3 dots, okay? 3 dots. Okay. All right. So make sure when you're doing this lineup, guys, make sure that the stitches are all here because we're trying to have this on the inside. Okay. So, yep, social connection. Communities offer a way to connect with others, share ideas, and feel a part of a community. Okay? So that's what it is, you guys. You guys want me to go further? Okay. I'll go further. I'll go further. Let's go and talk about crocheting for beginners. Okay? Well, okay. So let's go ahead and go back to this while that pulls up. I hope you guys are doing awesome, all the new people who are coming in. I hope you guys are doing awesome today. Mind you, this is the first time I'm making a crochet bucket hat. I'm literally just going by what I've seen. I am going by a little bit of a pattern. But what I do in crocheting, so it could always feel like, okay, I'm doing this authentically, like it's mine, is I try to mix up and when I say mix up, I try to mix a little bit of me with the pattern. That's just what I feel like. Now, when you are a beginner, depending on what your skill level is and all that, hey, when you're a beginner, follow that to the T. I followed it to the T as well when I was just starting. Oh, wow. Child, I'm almost sewing something, a whole thing. That's why this is tough, y'all. Talking, crocheting, learning. You talking about multitasking. This is what I'm doing. I'm multitasking. I don't have time to wait until I got this down like perfect. I'm just not gonna do that. So I represent most people who are beginners. Okay, so we're gonna go over some tips for beginner crocheters. That's what we're about to talk about. All right, here we go. So the way that you know that you're going the same way is you're just gonna make sure that your seams are on the outside. Okay. Okay, so here are some tips for beginner crocheters. Start simple. Begin with easy projects like scarves, dishcloths, basic stitches. I agree with that. You want to do something basic. And even though it's basic, it's not saying that it's easy. It's just saying that it is more obtainable. You know, you'll get your, gratification quicker. Okay? Like me, I started off with just doing, hats or as far as the bucket hats and things like that. I just start like the ruffle hats first. So it just depends on what type of learner you are. I know I like challenging things. I do. My brain like loves it. Do you like challenging things? Do you like things that are gonna like, you know, keep you like in the game? Okay. So choose the right materials. And guys, make sure you go to todaycrochet.com. Todaycrochet.com. Okay. Um, choose the right materials. Use medium weight yarn and a comfortable hook size to start. I just came across something, I think today, and it says, it was a video, and it says, what is a comfortable crochet hook for a beginner? And the person said, none. But in my opinion, I'm going to say a 5, because that was my first hook, was a 5. And it was comfortable, not necessarily just comfortable in how you hold it, but it was comfortable in how the projects came out. It wasn't too small. It wasn't too big. It was just right. You know what I mean? So I would say 5. When I would do 4, and I just recently started dealing with 4, and I also actually in my ruffle hats, I actually went a little bigger, 6. And it does take a getting used to when you go smaller or go bigger. So 5, I think, is just perfect. Yarn worsted. I get a lot of yarn like, I like my yarns to be firm. I've had some soft yarn I just bought because I wasn't really proficient on the different yarn. But I don't like the soft, fluffy yarn. And then you have to learn, like, okay, what yarn is good for what project. So this type of yarn, the stiffer yarn, this actually yarn that I'm using is granny square yarn, which is where the colors are already in there for you. You just have to make them. Like with this hat, this was not in one color. I actually switched out the colors. So that's what I did. And that's why I feel like this just looks so like pristine and it looks good. And I like to do that. I don't like just using, and it's not that I don't like it. It's just that, they're expensive. Yarn that's already kind of like what they call the ombre yarn. They're a little more expensive. So you're paying a little more money for less yarn. And I just feel like as a beginner, that's just not feasible. I want a lot of yarn. So I just, started to just feed in colors myself. It just makes it better, in my opinion, So yeah, if I had to say the brand of yarn, I like Caron. There is a yarn called Caron. Yes, Carron. I like that the best. Okay. I love the size 5 and 6. It's great. I did a poncho with an 8 and it was so fun. Yeah, and that's what I want to get into as well. I want to get into the bigger hook sizes. I have not yet, but see, that's the thing, y'all. That's what crocheting is. It gets you to, keep going and learning new things. And the more, stitches that you learn, and the more hooks you use, and the different yarn and colors, your skill level would just go through the roof. You definitely will not get bored, if you will. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not bored doing this. This is like, and I don't even know how it's going to come out. You get what I'm saying? I don't know how it's going to come out. I pray that it comes out okay. It is my first attempt, so I do allow myself mistakes. And so you have to make mistakes, guys. You have to make it. You have to. Here we go. Okay. That's actually, to be honest, this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 4. And that actually got all around my head comfortably. Yep. And the reason why I get away with 4 is because I have a side cut, so there's no hair here. And so that's why I started growing my locks years ago, and I seen this hairstyle on Lisa Bonet, and I said, I want this hairstyle. So when I started doing my hats, I realized my hats were always big. And I was like, well, I followed the pattern. Why is it so big? And then God told me, or the Holy Spirit told me, right here is no hair. So it takes up, you know, hair takes up space. So I have less space on this. So I probably would naturally need it maybe 5. But because I have the side cut, 4 is enough. So what we're going to do, okay, and as you can see, this actually wraps around. Boom. And so I have to, up here, I have to put my last, what is it? Granny square. All right. And so let's see if this, I want it to actually fit. So unfortunately, it's not going to fit right at the seam. Boom. So I'm going to sew it like this because I have the seams on the inside. So this is how I'm going to sew it. Boom. So it can fit my head. Okay. You guys want me to continue and make this on here? Yes? No? Huh? Huh? All right, guys. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and get me a clip. Well, actually, I'm going to use, this gives me some time to actually teach you guys about something that everyone needs. So let me go ahead and take this out and show you. I hope all is well with you guys. Everyone who's coming in, everyone who is watching in the replay, I hope all is well with you guys. All right. So these are my stitch markers. Okay. It's very important, guys, to have stitch markers. When I first started 14 years ago, I did not have stitch markers. But stitch markers are important because they keep you knowing what the heck you're doing. They're good for like when you're not increasing. There are some hats that you're not going to increase, and so you won't know where to start and where to finish. So, or where to finish rather. And you don't want that. So we're going to go ahead and put these stitch markers there, okay, to hold it together. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to just sew here. I'm not following a pattern. I'm just going by me being a crocheter and things like that. So that's it there. And then up here is where I need to close it. I don't know if this is correct, but that's what I'm going to do. And to close the top area, I'm going to have to use another granny square. That's how you do it. You're going to cover that top area so it'll be a full hat. Okay? That's what you have to do. Okay, so I'm going to go get something to eat, guys. My stomach is saying, girlfriend, you need something to eat. I'm going to make another video of this, okay? So make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Cut your notifications on. That's very important, because if you don't do that, you won't get notified. All right? Make sure you go over to our community board. If you're here for the tea, celebrities, and all of that, go to the community board. Go to our videos as well. Support us there as well. So our lives is going to be crocheting, and everything else is going to be what's the tea, celebrity stuff. Okay? That's how it works here. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.